Today we're going to be taking a look at the best suspension enhancement options on our 2017 Ford E-Series Cutaway. Here we have three different styles of suspension enhancements. From Timbren, we've got our Jounce-Style. From Airlift, we've got our airbag style. And from SuperSprings, we've got our leaf spring style. They're all going to work somewhat similar because when you're driving on uneven pavement, they're all going to help reduce that sway. That's a big thing, that sway. You'll hit a pothole and it'll just start to rock. This will help keep that down at a minimum. On a windy day, when it's pushing against your vehicle, pushing you around, this will also help keep your vehicle straight. Now, all of these options are going to help reduce sag on your vehicle when it's loaded down. They're also going to help improve ride comfort. What all of this adds up for you is that you're going to have a more comfortable ride with less fatigue, and it's going to be a safer journey to get where you need to go. But there are going to be some differences, and some are going to suit your needs better than others. The least amount of maintenance is going to be tied between our SuperSprings and our Timbrens, as they require no maintenance whatsoever, while our airlifts are going to require some maintenance to upkeep the proper air pressure. And when it comes to adjustability, that's going to go to our airlift, because they not only adjust up and down for more loads like our SuperSprings, but they can also be adjusted independently from side to side. And when it comes to carrying capacity, that's going to go to our Timbrens. The Jounce-Style is going to offer the highest by far in comparison with the other two on how much carrying capacity it can withstand. And lastly, when it comes to installation, that's going to also have to go to our Timbrens. They're the smallest and easiest option to install. If you're looking for a maintenance-free option that has some adjustability, you may want to consider SuperSprings leaf spring enhancement. If you're looking for an option that'll give you the most adjustability, but is going to also require the most amount of maintenance, airlifts is going to be what's going to work for you. And if you want an option that has no maintenance, but also has no adjustability, then the Timbrens are going to be good for you. Our SuperSprings here, they do have the lowest load capacity of 1,900 pounds, but they do have several adjustment options here on the saddles on the end. It's going to have a low, medium, and high. The low is going to maintain your factory ride height, but still help prevent that sag and give you some support. The high setting is going to change your ride height, lifting it up, but it is going to help compensate the most for extremely heavy loads. The medium setting is going to be just right in between. This option is going to install above your leaf springs and give you an extra layer of support. It's going to attach at both the front and the back of each spring. The airlifts are going to give you the most adjustment possible. Included with your springs, you'll get all the air line that you need to attach it, and this is how you can adjust one side versus the other. You just use an air chuck and air them up. That air adjustment is going to allow you to customize your load. So if you add more things to your vehicle and it starts to sag, you can just air it up and return to that factory ride height. That's really nice, particularly with these, because you can get a very nice, perfect ride height and bring your headlights, if they happen to be aiming up in the air, back down. So it's a little bit more adjustment that you're going to get with the other options that can make the difference. The downside to them is that they do require some maintenance. As temperatures change and conditions change, you may need to raise or lower the amount of air pressure that's in them to maintain that same ride height. And while these are the most adjustable, they are going to be one of the most difficult to install, because you not only have to install the airbags and all the brackets, but you have to route your air line. These are going to have a higher rating than the SuperSprings with 5,000 pound capacity, but they are going to be lower than our Timbrens here, because the Timbrens boast a 12,000 pound carrying capacity, making them the highest of them all. This option is going to be maintenance free. It's going to be the easiest to install out of all the options. While these have the highest rating and they're the easiest to install, they offer the least amount of adjustability. Once they're in, they don't really boost up your ride height, they just help maintain it. So as you load it down, it is still going to sag a little, but it's going to greatly reduce how much it sagged before. Additionally, it's also going to absorb some of that road impact. It's going to be dissipated throughout the jounce. So it is going to give you a smoother ride. And that completes our look at the best suspension enhancement options on our Ford E-Series Cutaway.